welcome to Witchy and Well's Soul Medicine. I'm Emily Valario, your host, pharmacist, witch, and holistic health coach. And today we are so lucky to be joined by Ellen Roche, shaman, among many other things. Welcome, Ellen.
Thank you. But I have to say, I don't consider myself a shaman.
Okay. Oh, this is a good start.
Yeah.
Please clarify.
I am a shamanic practitioner.
I love it. And what for you is the distinction between the two?
So, a shaman, to be a shaman, you have to come from a long lineage, and that's just not mine to claim. But I love to practice shamanism.
Interesting.
It's a way of life. It's a very ancient and spiritual way, going back thousands of years. And it's something that's needed in our world today. So it's kind of like, it's very spiritual. It's not religious. But I'm more connected to the divine when I practice shamanism than if I were to be practicing a religion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What does that feel like for you to feel like you're more connected to the divine?
Well,
that's maybe a hard question.
Yeah, let me think about that though. I think when we open up and allow that energy in, then it changes you. It changes you on a very deep level. For me, I will tell you that how I was introduced to this, all my life I loved playing outdoors and being in nature. I was enamored. My mother, she would, back then when I was growing up, we were told, leave the house and come back when the street lights were on, right? So, and that's where I would go off to the forest behind my home and play in the forest. And I just really connected with nature. Now, on top of that, I had two aunts that were nuns, so I did live in a very,
What fun.
Yeah, a very loving Catholic family, but introduced at an early age to the saints and the guardian angels. And for me, I didn't necessarily, it was more than believing. I wanted to communicate with these spirits. I liked the mystical side of the religion. So when I was introduced to shamanism, it just made perfect sense. To me, it has allowed me to commune with the spirit world and understand that there is something so much more than just us, right?
Have there been moments that stand out in particular where you've had that, I'll use the word faith, I suppose, maybe that's not the right word for you, where you've had that just knowing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I will tell you that when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's now 30 or 31, I think she just turned 31. Mm-hmm. Anyways, when I was pregnant with her, they told me that the doctors told me that I had something called, let me remember, amniotic band syndrome is what it was called. And they said, we really advise you to have an abortion. Well, at the time, I was taking a channeling class with Marty Turner was her name. She was this wonderful lady, and she taught me how to connect with, that spirit world, the light, the God, basically, and to bring that energy in and to heal, so I could heal, my unborn baby. I was, and so, I did not listen to the doctors, thank God, and every single day I would, bring that energy in. And so, yeah, she was born perfectly fine. So that's really when I said, this is a way of life that is pretty simple if you're committed to taking the time to meditate and really get in touch with that divine energy. So with shamanism, everything, the whole concept is everything is interconnected. So spirit, nature, body, we're all connected. And we're all part of God. And if we can tap into that light, that loving energy, then yes, healing can take place. Not just physical healing, but everything in your life. If you're going through something, if you have a situation with work, or if you're lost in any direction, if you tap into this power, it's just amazing how it does help.
Yeah, so I'm curious, for someone who knows they need help and someone who seeks you out, whatever it is that they may feel they need help healing, what does it look like to work with someone as a shamanic practitioner? Is it radically different from person to person, or are there kind of steps that you take in common?
You mean as far as like shamanic practitioners in general? Like, does everybody follow a protocol?
If I were to come and see you and say, hey, I'm trying to work through this.
Okay, so it all depends on what the situation is.
Yeah.
And then that's when I would journey to my spirit helpers and get the answers from them. So it's a very spirit-driven practice. It's a practice where you really have to let go of ego. And there is faith. There is that, I have a deep faith. I have a deep faith in my, my spirit helpers, my guardian angels. It's just one of those ways of being where I just let go and allow that spirit to come through. Not like, it's not so much like being possessed or anything like that. And the spirits that I'm talking about are very compassionate. They're helping. They're, and I have one of the spirit helpers that comes to me all the time is Jesus. And I also have a deep relationship with Mother Mary. These are very special in individuals. So my spirit helpers might be different than another shamanic practitioner's spirit helpers. And so when I did start taking the classes, I've studied extensively with the shamanic, what is it called? Michael Hanna's shamanic studies, anyways. The foundation of shamanic studies, that's what it's called. Michael Hanna was an anthropologist. He has since passed away. But he was brilliant. He traveled the world and studied with different indigenous cultures. And the thing in common that they all had was shamanism. They all practiced shamanism, which, it's that interconnectedness and just being in touch with that realm, that divine, sacred realm that you can tap into that can help you.
And would you say that anyone could tap into that if they so chose?
Absolutely, right. So one of the things that I do to get into that altered state of being able to, deep meditation and really getting in touch with your spirit helpers is my drum.
Yes, so please share your beautiful drum.
Yeah, this is my drum. So, so it's it definitely most shamanic practitioners have their drum, but it's not anything. It's just a very monotone.
It makes me want to melt.
Yeah, it's very relaxing, and it does help bring you into that meditative state.
Yeah. Do most shamanic practitioners and shamans that you know and have worked with, do most of them choose to use a drum to enter that altered state of consciousness?
Drum or a rattle?
Drum or a rattle.
Yeah.
Are there
power dancing too? That's that's really cool. Yeah.
Do plant medicines factor into the world of shamanic work?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Having that respect to that spirit of the plant and communicating with that spirit. I will say that it's very important to work with the plants that are from your, the area where you live.
Yes.
My husband and I are beekeepers, and we honor that fact a lot. That we want to make sure that the plants that we plant for the bees are native to this area. It's really important.
I think there's also something to be said for the idea of reciprocity. I don't know if that's exactly the right word.
No, that word, that is something that in and when we practice shamanism, that's really huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to work with a plant, you're not using the plant, you're respecting, you're loving, you're caring for the plant just as it is,
Absolutely.
caring for you, right? And we're that chain
you're
of
honoring, you're recognizing, and you're honoring, and a lot of times you can make offerings to, one of the big things that, it could be something like, tobacco or wine or chocolate,
or
something.
Hape. We were talking about Hape the other day,
Yes,
weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also, a really cool way to honor the plant spirits.
Yeah. So much of it is like the intention that you bring to.
It's all about intention. That is true. The intention and calling forward that intention. Yeah. Honoring that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when was it that, what brought you to shamanic work specifically, right? Because there is a rather broad field of study in holistic and spiritual well-being and healing.
I do. I was taking Reiki classes.
Yeah.
After the episode with my daughter, the woman that I was taking the channeling class from, she was the one that really got me into the energy healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was into that, very much so. When anytime my kids were growing up, with my kids, they all knew, how to, I would tell them to visualize that healing light, and, we would practice that regularly.
I love that. That's amazing.
What brought me to take the classes, the shamanic classes, were I walked the Camino. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yes.
Did you hear? I walked the last, it was when I had, all my kids were basically, out of the house. Well, they were graduating high school, right? And they were heading off on their own excursions. And I thought this would be a really good time for me to do this. It's something I had always wanted to do because I had read, I don't know if you ever read Paulo Coelho's books.
Oh, I read The Alchemist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wrote a book called The Pilgrimage.
Okay.
So it's about him walking the
Camino.
Camino, and and how it really got him to be in tune with, his true self, right?
Yes.
Because I think all of us are in search of that.
Yes.
Right? Finding ourselves and honoring that.
And you talk a lot about how shamanic work is a letting go, a releasing, and allowing, which I think is so connected to finding our authenticity, right? Just allowing things to fall away, to drop. How is it that you found you've been able to access that authentic self, that you've been able to allow?
Okay, so for me, I took my first workshop called The Way of the Shaman. And it's Michael Harner's class, and and it's part of the Foundation of Shamanic Studies. And so from there, I took the week-long counseling. So I took their counseling workshops. We went away for 2 weeks it was called the 2-week healing intensive. I had to just go off, not knowing anybody, not knowing where I was even going. And being with these people for 2 weeks in a very intense initiation process. So that was really
the people
cool.
being like your classmates, your cohort.
Yeah. And then from there, we all decided, a bunch of us signed up for the 3-year program. So it was a 3-year initiative that was really amazing. Yeah, life-changing.
What was something that really stands out from that 3-year program?
Sure, I can share something. So they call them like initiations, and this is really cool. This is called The Bound Shaman, and it's actually in, Michael Harner wrote a couple of books, so I know it's in one of his books, so I know I can share this one. But The Bound Shaman is, It's just one of the things that you're trying to understand is that allowing and letting, that spirit, just allowing that to happen, to have faith that you're protected, that you're loved, that that they're here because they're compassionate and they want to help. That's, you're really understanding and having faith in that concept. And so it's really about your relationship. And so the bound shaman is, I had to get tied up, like literally hands behind my back, my ankles tied. I'm a little claustrophobic, so it kind of freaked me out a little. And then they put a blanket over you and they tied me like a Houdini thing, right? So, and then miraculously, I was let loose and nobody was around me. I'm just let loose. The spirit helpers come, and that really, that's mind-blowing, right?
Chills, that's so beautiful.
When something when you experience something like that, like a real miracle like that, then parts of you open up more and more. And it's really about that layers and.
This is a very personal question I'm about to ask. You can feel free to say no, but what do you feel is opening in you now?
Well, I'm not done opening, right? It's just
an infinity of opening, right?
Yeah. So, but for me, it's just completely trusting that I'm being taken care of.
Yeah.
That's really big.
Yeah.
Knowing somebody has my back from the other side. Yeah.
It's interesting too, you've spoken about your cohort, and the first time, I'll share with our viewers, the first time I met Ellen, it was in a drum circle with several other women, and it was such a powerful experience just to be in community, to be with these other amazing women who are, so I wonder for you, what is your kind of, I don't want to say your favorite context, but are you drawn to working with people one-on-one? Are you drawn to group settings? And what do you feel are the unique things that happen in each context?
Okay, so I'm not drawn to one thing. It all depends. Like, you could come to me and it could be my spirit helpers tell me a certain way to work with you, where somebody else comes to me and they're told, no, we need you to go and do so I have something called elemental healing, and what that is I work with 3 other shamanic practitioners. We work together and we create a sacred circle, and it's the 4 of us healing that person or that situation. And so it all depends. Like, there's all these different practices that you can do, and what could be good for you might not be good for somebody else. So
isn't that just
such
a powerful truth right there?
It is. But the other thing too is, when I work with somebody, it's important that they come up with what it's really all about what feels good to them too, because they're really ultimately responsible for their healing. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's kind of a give and take.
We know.
Yeah.
Right? How do you help someone suss that out in themselves? Or do they
journey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might not know where you're going yet.
Yeah.
But you figure it out in the journey.
I help them. I help them. We can do a guided journey, or there's different journeys we can take that I help somebody through that journey, and it's mind blowing when when they're like, wow, that came. Sometimes people will say, I can't tell the difference. Is that my imagination? Is that real? Like, are these thoughts that are coming to me? And the thing I tell people is, you have to trust that whatever is coming, just let it come. And your imagination is really your ally, because that is the vehicle that Spirit's using to talk to you.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I think so often we're quick to, well, it's funny, we were talking about seizures earlier, about, what so often Western medicine considers illness, disease, how especially, talking about the mind, how there is also potential there. There is also, there's information about how the mind works. There's information about how spirit is communicating with us through, these things we were perceiving as diseases.
Exactly, because everything should be looked at as a lesson or, a gift, a gift to learn. What lessons are there for me to be able to open me up? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's all good.
It's interesting too to think about, being in your drum circle, the group that happens to find themselves there together.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because you're creating sacred space. You are.
Yes.
And so you're absolutely right. And since we are all connected, it is so interesting to make those connections with the other people.
Yeah. Do you find within a circle there are common themes or things that end up being shared among group members?
Absolutely. Sometimes after a session or a ceremony that we do, a lot of times people will come forward and they'll have received the same messages, which is really neat. Yeah.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
It is. It is.
It's magic.
It is.
Right?
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. It is interesting.
What has you curious right now?
What has me curious?
What are you curious about? In the world of healing or shamanic work or anything at all, where is your mind drawn?
Well, I every day, I'm curious about every day. Yeah, right? I try to take in every single day as a gift. I think that's the key, right? Too, we have to be so grateful. And so I don't know what I'm really curious about right now, but I'm excited to see that the world is more open to shamanism than it was years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long ago when I would not want to talk about what I did. I'd be like, oh yeah, we're having a drumming circle, and not really I'd only tell certain people. And now it's like, hey, this is what we're doing. If you want to come. And if you don't, it's okay. And if you think I'm weird, that's fine.
That's okay.
Because I am.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't we all weird
right?
in our own ways?
Yeah.
Have you found that as you've been able to step into your shamanic practitioner self, your beautifully unique, weird self, have you noticed people around you? How are people responding to that around you?
Some people, you can tell. Some people look at you, and I can tell the look on their face, like they're looking at me like, OMG, right? And then there's other people that you can look at, and it's like soul sister, yeah, they get it. For those with eyes to see and ears to hear, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me when people look at me like I have three heads. I don't even pay attention to that anymore. And I think it's wonderful that more and more people it's resonating with more and more people. People, there's a missing link, and this is it. It's connecting not to a religion, so to speak, but to that light, that love and that Christ consciousness. That's where we want to be at.
Yeah. What do you feel are other ways that folks can form that link for themselves?
Well, for me, I just think, walking in nature, right? Walking in nature can connect you to that realm, to that feeling. Praying, meditating, journeying. For me, I love walking in nature. That's just really beautiful. To be by myself, walking in nature, like a walking meditation. But journeying is really, really cool.
It is really cool. Yeah, it's such a beautiful way for us to access this incredible tool.
Right, exactly.
our imagination.
And it's wild when you come out of a journeying session and the message, you write down messages and it might not resonate right then, but then like as over the next couple of days, you're like, wow, that's what that meant, and it helps you to get in touch with yourself and communicate with yourself. And
do you journal?
Yes. Well, I do. Yeah.
What does that look like for you? Do you give yourself prompts or do you just kind of write?
Oh, no, I just will write down whatever. So I journey every morning. And the messages I get, I keep a journal daily. Yeah. And you can go back and you can see, different things that unfold and different messages that you receive, and all starts making sense.
Isn't it so that the way we start to integrate, right? The way all of the pieces start to fit together, and then we get new pieces, right, along the way. But it's pretty awesome.
It is, yeah.
I wanted to ask you too. I know often in the world of healing, even like within the world of shamanism, which is a kind of a subset of spiritual healing, there often tends to be a particular area of shamanic work that someone might be drawn to. Like I was following a podcast by a money shaman, or there are kind of like sexual shamans. Do you feel like there's a common thread among the folks who seek out your guidance, your support, or is it just a broad spectrum of folks?
I think it's more for me, it's more of a broad spectrum. I don't, maybe because I'm not focusing on one thing. I can't imagine focusing on one thing. I think, because everything is so different. Everything is so individual. And it's not just people that need healing. It's the environment that need. There's a group of ladies that sometimes we'll get together over Zoom and do a healing circle for something that's going on. It's so important to just bring that light to wherever we can. But it's also important not to. So one of the big things in shamanism is, you have to have somebody's permission. That's big. You can't just go around thinking that you can shine a light on everyone. You have to have somebody's permission. So even when you are dealing with something that happened in on the environment or the land, you always have to make sure it's for the highest good, right?
Exactly.
Because we don't know what the bigger plan is, right?
Yeah, because it can so easily turn into control, ego, right?
You got to be so careful.
Permission is so important.
It has to be spirit driven.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. So, knowing that you're open to clients who are seeking assistance in all kinds of areas, how could someone find you for some support?
Sure. Well, I have a website, the Golden Light Healing Services, and I think that they're going to put it on the bottom of the screen. So hopefully that, if somebody feels so, to reach out. Yes, that would be great.
And are you doing any group work in the future that people will be able to join you for?
Oh yes, we have some. If you go, some drumming circles coming up that are really interesting, and some future workshops. Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, it's so exciting. And I think you also mentioned that you've written some books. So if someone,
those are on.
If someone wants to
it's like an ebook,
explore.
just explaining about shamanism.
What are your books called?
Well, they're on the website, and I think that it's probably best just to, if somebody's interested, they can go check it out.
That's amazing. And just a reminder, this is Ellen Roche, shamanic practitioner, not shaman. And highly encourage you to check her out. The drum circle that I did with you was very powerful.
Awesome. That's great.
It was beautiful, and I still have I have the stone that is a powerful reminder for me.
That's awesome. Great. That's great.
So,
wonderful.
Thank you for being here, Ellen.
Oh,
so appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all next time on Witchy and Well Soul Medicine. Thanks for tuning in.